Run if you see this. Something unusual is showing up on camera, and nobody can fully explain it. From eerie humanoid shapes to disturbing shadowy figures, these paranormal clips have left people genuinely terrified. So lace up your shoes and let's dive in. A highway patrol officer was driving along the Autovia motorway in Spain when he got a strange radio call from a traffic camera operator. The operator asked who was sitting in the passenger seat beside him. Confused, the officer replied that he was driving alone. Still, he glanced over just to be sure, but the seat was empty. Later, while reviewing the dashcam footage, he froze in shock. Sitting beside him the entire time was a horrifying woman-like figure with glowing eyes staring ahead. Even now, he has no explanation for what appeared in his vehicle. Disturbing recording. At first, the video looked completely innocent, just two friends joking around while filming each other. One person held the camera, while the other casually moved in front of it. But when the footage was replayed later, something felt deeply unsettling. On camera, her skin looked unnaturally pale, her eyes appeared darker than normal, and her body movements seemed oddly unnatural. In real life, she had looked perfectly fine, yet on video, the atmosphere felt uncomfortable and strangely eerie. Was it simply the camera creating an illusion, or did it capture something no one noticed at the time? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. The stare figure. A teenager was filming inside an abandoned house in Bear, Vermont, when he noticed something standing motionless at the bottom of the staircase. He called out several times, but there was no response. The figure slowly tilted its head at an unnatural angle before releasing a horrifying scream that sounded completely inhuman. Moments later, it began crawling up the stairs in a twisted, unnatural way. Panicking, the boy locked himself inside a nearby room and called for help. When authorities eventually arrived, the house was empty, leaving behind only his terrifying memory. The mysterious visitor. A CCTV camera outside a home recorded a chilling moment late one evening. From behind nearby bushes, a strange figure emerged. It had long white hair, dark, hollow-looking eyes, and unusually long fingernails. The way it approached and knocked on the door didn't feel human at all. Every movement seemed unnatural and unsettling. Anyone watching the footage could immediately sense something was wrong. The cameraman later explained that the woman looked completely normal in person, but on video, her appearance transformed into something deeply disturbing. Her pale skin, strange eyes, and unnatural motion made the clip feel almost supernatural. Terrifying pursuit. A woman living in Antananarivo, Madagascar reported that she was chased late at night by an unknown figure moving through the streets behind her. When nearby CCTV footage was reviewed afterward, people were stunned by what appeared on screen. A crouched creature with tangled hair and hollow eyes could be seen moving in a bizarre way through the darkness. Suddenly, it collapsed to the ground while making disturbing noises before seemingly disappearing completely. The encounter spread fear throughout the local community. Roadside sighting. A car was driving down a deserted road late at night when the passengers noticed something impossible beside them. Running alongside the vehicle was a pale figure moving far faster than any human should be able to. Its glowing eyes locked onto the car as if it was trying to keep pace. Everyone inside the vehicle froze in fear, unable to understand what they were seeing. Then, within seconds, the figure disappeared into the darkness without a trace, leaving the group shaken and speechless. The rooftop stranger. A villager was returning home along a road rumored to be haunted when he suddenly looked upward and stopped in fear. Sitting silently on a rooftop was a woman staring directly at him. Something about her appearance immediately felt wrong. Her skin tone looked unnatural, her expression seemed emotionless, and her eyes followed him wherever he moved. Nobody in the neighborhood recognized her, and nobody could identify who she was supposed to be. At that moment, the villager began to believe the local ghost stories might actually be true. Midnight visitor. Hours after midnight, a terrace security camera captured something unsettling. A young woman slowly entered the area while the faint sound of an anklet echoed through the silence of the night. Instead of leaving, she continued pacing back and forth across the terrace for hours, as though trapped in a repeating pattern. Locals later shared theories online, claiming she looked far from ordinary. Whatever was caught on camera felt disturbingly real, and viewers couldn't stop debating what exactly they had witnessed. The abandoned house. A man entered an old abandoned home believing nobody was inside. Quietly, he walked through the dark rooms while recording everything with his camera. Then he saw them. Two little girls standing perfectly still without blinking or moving. He glanced away for only a second, but when he looked back, they had vanished completely. Terrified, he ran from the house. The building no longer felt abandoned. It felt as though something inside had been watching him the entire time. Disturbing creature footage. This may be the creepiest clip in today's video, and what happens near the end is hard to forget. A bizarre deformed creature emerged from an abandoned location, looking disoriented and unnatural. The being had a massive head, long black hair hanging over its shoulders, and gray, lifeless-looking skin as though it had been dead for centuries. The tall creature moved awkwardly before suddenly beginning to levitate, but before it drifted away, it turned directly toward the camera as if it was staring straight at the viewer. Terror inside the factory. An urban explorer and his friends entered an abandoned factory and immediately felt uneasy. While scanning the building with his flashlight, he noticed a pale woman standing atop a massive rusted tank staring down at them. Fear instantly set in, but things only became worse. When he turned his flashlight to the side, a man's face suddenly appeared inches away from him. Startled, he nearly dropped the flashlight. When he looked again, the figure had vanished completely. Close encounter. A paranormal investigator exploring an abandoned house in Suzdal, Russia, hoped to capture evidence of supernatural activity. While moving through the building, he heard strange sounds coming from the basement and carefully descended the stairs. Suddenly, a horrifying figure peeked around the corner. It had glowing eyes, damaged skin, and torn clothing. Without warning, it lunged directly toward him. The camera hit the floor as the investigator fled the house in panic. The sidewalk girl. A young girl stood silently beside a sidewalk watching anyone who passed nearby. When a man walked past her, she said nothing and simply stared at him. Slowly, her expression changed. Her smile disappeared, her eyes darkened, and something about her presence felt deeply unnatural. Though the man continued walking, he later admitted the encounter left him with the chilling feeling that he had narrowly avoided something inhuman. Monster mystery. Back on August 23, 2007, two girls attending a comedy show in Munster, Ireland, decided to film the evening for fun. During the recording, one of them noticed movement near a doorway, as though someone was quietly watching them. Looking closer, they saw a figure standing on the first floor. Moments later, it appeared again on the second floor almost instantly, as if it had teleported. The sight disturbed them so badly that their family eventually left the building altogether. Even years later, nobody has been able to explain exactly what they saw. Abandoned structure. Two explorers were searching through a ruined abandoned building when they noticed something moving near the entrance. A girl-like figure stood there, but her movements looked unnatural and broken. Every motion she made felt wrong, and her expression seemed disturbingly inhuman. The atmosphere instantly turned tense. Overcome with fear, the men ran from the building without looking back. Though the encounter lasted only seconds, it remained unforgettable. The Mirror Witch. In Glasgow, Scotland, a man was relaxing at home watching television when the lights suddenly shut off. Carrying a flashlight, he went to inspect the electrical breakers. As he passed a mirror, he froze in terror. Reflected in the glass was a horrifying figure watching itself. It had tangled black hair, pale skin, and a neck bent at an impossible angle. The man quickly backed away, but when he looked again, the figure was no longer in the mirror. It was standing directly in front of him. Seconds later, it lunged toward him and the video abruptly ended. Shadow or real? A young content creator was filming alone on an empty bridge during sunset when something appeared behind her. A long-haired figure stood perfectly still in the background. For a moment, it looked undeniably human. When she pointed her flashlight toward it, the figure turned out to be nothing more than bushes. But those few terrifying seconds were enough to make both her and viewers question what they had really seen. Was it truly a person, or simply shadows playing tricks in the fading light? I'll leave that decision to you. Don't get closer. A man was walking home late after work when he heard a faint sound coming from the roadside. Curious, he turned and noticed a strange shape in the distance. At first, he couldn't even understand what he was looking at. It appeared crouched low to the ground while somehow still standing upright. The figure didn't move or react. It simply remained there motionless. The man kept staring, trying to make sense of it, but the stillness only made the encounter more disturbing. Whatever it was, it didn't seem normal at all. Face in the window. Late one night, a woman glanced toward her window and saw something terrifying pressed against the glass. A figure stood inches away, staring directly. Inside, its glowing eyes looked unnatural, and although its body appeared vaguely human, its proportions felt disturbingly wrong. It never knocked or moved. It simply stood there silently watching her from outside the window. Disturbing TikTok clip. The video began like any normal TikTok recording. A smiling girl stood beside a group of trees while joking around with the camera. But when she stepped backward, something appeared between the branches behind her. A dark shape slowly emerged, and its face looked deeply unsettling beside her cheerful expression. That one small detail transformed an innocent video into something genuinely creepy. Anyone watching immediately felt that something wasn't right. The living room shadow. A home security camera recorded an ordinary living room while a woman relaxed on the couch beside her dog. At first, everything seemed completely normal. Then suddenly, a dark figure darted across the hallway so quickly it looked like it passed through the wall itself. The dog instantly panicked and ran out of frame. The woman never noticed anything. Later, while reviewing the footage, that brief shadow became the only unexplained moment in the entire recording. The hallway stare. Late one evening in India, a quiet hallway became the setting for a disturbing incident. A young woman stood completely motionless beneath the dim lights, while her friends repeatedly called for her to return. She didn't respond at all. Instead, she maintained a wide, unsettling smile the entire time. According to her roommates, this strange behavior had happened before, though nobody knew why. The unexplained situation left everyone deeply uncomfortable. The floating figure. One quiet night in California, a security camera captured something that left a homeowner speechless. A shadowy humanoid shape glided smoothly across the driveway as though floating above the ground. Seconds later, it disappeared completely. Rewatching the footage didn't make the sight any easier to explain. The unnatural movement of the figure seemed impossible. The mirror warning. Many people have heard the superstition about placing two mirrors facing each other. One man ignored that warning. In his bedroom, two mirrors reflected endlessly into one another. One day, he noticed something in the reflection that didn't actually exist inside the room. Too frightened to enter, he stayed in the doorway while recording with his phone. In the reflection, a dark face surrounded by tangled hair slowly appeared. The figure seemed to stare directly back at him through the mirror itself. Convinced he had witnessed something demonic, he uploaded the footage online. Do you think he captured something real? The traumatizing witch. A man riding home through Ahmedabad, Gujarat late at night noticed a strange figure standing in the middle of the road. Curious, he stopped his motorcycle and approached carefully. Before he could get close enough to understand what he was seeing, the figure vanished completely. Seconds later, it reappeared farther ahead. This time, it wore white clothing and had long black hair covering its face. Terrified, the man abandoned his bike and ran away on foot. Ghost on the road. One quiet night in Patna, India, a dog rested peacefully in the middle of an empty street when it suddenly sensed something unseen. The animal slowly stood up and backed away while staring ahead into the darkness. Moments later, CCTV footage revealed a shadow-like figure moving through the road. Though shaped like a person, its body appeared to be made entirely of black smoke. After the clip spread online, many viewers became convinced a real ghost had been captured on camera. Cemetery apparition. A cemetery guard working the night shift in Penang, Malaysia spotted a pale figure dressed in white wandering between the graves. The figure had long, messy hair and moved silently among the tombstones. Curious, the guard chased after it, but it vanished before he could get close. Later, his flashlight beam revealed the same figure standing at a distance once again. When he approached a second time, nothing was there. The terrifying experience convinced him he had encountered a witch. The church figure. Residents in Ohrid, Macedonia had been reporting strange screams coming from a nearby church late at night. Concerned, a security guard decided to check the CCTV recordings. What he discovered shocked him. A pale woman-like figure dressed in white stood completely motionless inside the church. Her long black hair covered most of her face. After only a few seconds, the figure vanished, leaving behind a faint mist-like shape lingering in the air. Triple threat. Just after midnight in Balanga, Philippines, a delivery driver experienced something he could not explain. While reversing his truck, he noticed 3 blurry figures appearing in front of the vehicle as though they were pushing it backward. He stopped immediately and prepared to step outside, but before he could react, the figures disappeared. After reviewing the footage with co-workers later, many believe the figures resembled witches described in old local legends. Mysterious roadside footage. Late one evening in Jaipur, a woman walking home from work suddenly felt as though someone was following her. Although the street looked nearly empty, the feeling became stronger with every step. Nervously, she began running while repeatedly looking behind her, but nobody was there. After reaching home, she and her husband reviewed nearby CCTV footage and were stunned to see a motionless figure standing in the road watching her from a distance. Glitch or ghost? During a routine security check in Bude Town Centre in the UK, a guard reviewing CCTV footage noticed something bizarre. A blurry figure appeared suddenly in the parking lot and moved toward a parked car. The figure looked distorted, almost supernatural. It opened the vehicle door and climbed inside. Convinced he had recorded a ghost, the guard uploaded the footage online. Skeptical viewers, however, argued it was merely a lighting effect and pointed out that a real ghost shouldn't cast a shadow. Nightcrawler sighting. A security guard monitoring a park in Fresno, California, was shocked when he noticed a bizarre figure wandering through the darkness. The entity appeared to consist of nothing except 2 legs. There was no visible torso, head, or feet. It looked as though a pair of empty pants was walking on its own. Disturbed by what he saw, the guard uploaded the clip online where viewers identified it as the famous Fresno Nightcrawler. Terrifying school ghost. A group of students waiting for night classes at an Islamic school in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, noticed something strange pass by them. The figure wore a cap like the other students, but on CCTV footage, its legs were missing completely. It looked as though the upper body was floating through the air. At first, nobody believed it was real, but after reviewing the footage, the students panicked and reported it to security, convinced they had witnessed the spirit of a former student. Spirit of the patient. During a night shift at a hospital in Bandung, Indonesia, a nurse heard unusual noises coming from a storage room. When she investigated, she saw a strange figure peeking from inside the darkness. Frozen in fear, she watched as it slipped back into the room before emerging again and disappearing entirely. Later, she claimed the figure may have been the restless spirit of a doctor who had died in the hospital years earlier. Invisible touch. In a strange office clip, a woman sat working at her desk when her hair suddenly moved by itself. Confused, she looked around, but nobody was near her. The security footage clearly showed her hair shifting as though something invisible had touched it. After the clip spread online, several co-workers admitted they had experienced similar unexplained events inside the building. The Haunted Cafe, a cafe employee cleaning the floor inside a restaurant in Merida, Mexico, experienced something deeply unsettling. After she walked away, a wet floor warning sign suddenly moved on its own. Moments later, while she cleaned the restroom, the sign unexpectedly fell to the ground. Then, as the manager inspected the area, a nearby mop collapsed by itself. Already aware of strange stories from the staff, the manager quickly left the cafe feeling genuinely disturbed. Ghost with a grudge. On September 6th, 2017, 2 brothers in Canberra, Australia, experienced something terrifying after tossing pebbles down a stairwell. While leaving for dinner, a dark shadow suddenly appeared in front of them and lunged toward one of the brothers. He collapsed instantly while the other dragged him away in panic. The shadow remained motionless for several seconds before vanishing entirely. The hanging figure. A driver traveling through Dawsonville, Georgia late at night spotted something horrifying, suspended in the air beside the road. Hanging motionless was the lower half of a body with no upper torso attached. The man had driven that route countless times before, yet had never witnessed anything similar. Terrified, he called emergency services immediately. But before police arrived, the figure disappeared completely. Shadow humanoid. This viral CCTV clip from 2013 stunned viewers worldwide. A man dressed in black walked calmly through a hotel lobby when he suddenly reacted to a mysterious black shape appearing beside him. The shadow grabbed his leg and violently dragged him several feet across the floor before disappearing without explanation. Terrified, the man fled the building and later admitted he spent days wondering what exactly had attacked him. The window entity. One evening in El Paso, Texas, a man relaxing at home heard loud banging against his window. Looking outside, he saw a pale figure with long hair moving erratically just beyond the glass. Panicking, he rushed outside to confront it, but the figure had already vanished. He was left alone with the terrifying feeling that something paranormal had visited his home. The possessed prisoner. In 2021, officers at a police station in Malacca, Malaysia, witnessed disturbing behavior from a prisoner inside one of the holding cells. Without warning, the inmate began screaming violently before dropping low to the ground. Slowly, he crawled toward the bars while twisting his neck unnaturally and moving his mouth erratically. Officers watching the scene admitted the behavior looked less like panic and more like possession. The late-night visitor. A doorbell camera in a quiet Indonesian village recorded a disturbing woman approaching the house late at night. Her tangled hair, dirty appearance, and unsettling smile immediately felt unnatural. She stood silently in front of the camera, staring directly into it for several seconds, before slowly turning around and disappearing into the darkness. The nightmare encounter. It began as an ordinary quiet night until a doorbell camera activated unexpectedly. Standing outside were three masked figures dressed in identical outfits. Instead of attempting to force entry, they calmly tested the doors while repeatedly calling out as though trying to lure someone outside. They never acted rushed or nervous. Eventually, after receiving no response, they walked away. Whoever they were, it seemed their goal was not to break in, but to draw the woman outside. The dark presence. Rain covered the doorbell camera lens while movement appeared on the porch outside. A tall man stood motionless while a dog barked uncontrollably from inside the house. He wore a long cloak hanging unnaturally low, concealing most of his body. Yet it wasn't only his appearance that disturbed viewers. Something about the way he stood there felt deeply wrong, almost as if he didn't belong there at all. Even online, nobody has managed to provide a convincing explanation. The eerie entity. In Bandung, Indonesia, two friends riding around late at night noticed a lone woman standing ahead of them. Thinking it would be funny to scare her, they approached carelessly. But as they got closer, they realized she looked far from human. Her skin appeared grotesque, her lips were unnaturally dark, and her eyes were completely white. Terrified, the two friends screamed and sped away as fast as possible. And finally, today's subscriber submission. What was supposed to be an ordinary afternoon in a backyard in Asheville, North Carolina on March 26th, 2026 turned into something terrifying. Mario's neighbors warned him not to approach a strange hole in the wooden fence, claiming a cat often hid there. Curious, Mario ignored the warnings and walked closer to investigate. Suddenly, whatever was hiding there burst through the fence with incredible speed. The massive creature resembled something out of a Skinwalker legend and immediately tackled Mario to the ground. He scrambled desperately across the yard while trying to avoid the animal-like beast. For a moment, it looked like he had been dragged away entirely. But in the final moments of the footage, Mario could still be seen alive, shaken badly, but thankfully unharmed.